Brothers, I'm going to tell you stuff that you already know, but some of you, not all of you, just a very few of you want to hear this. Won't want to hear it, but need to hear it. I've just done, excuse my hand, 2 hours down in that shitty gully. My main dog posed in the back with Bigsy. She had a pig. I've actually got her on camera stopping it. I thought it was in the bag. 2 hours later, here I am driving my truck out of the scrub to go and pick up the other boys right down the very bottom. Hopefully we can have a happy ending to this and get a pig, but I don't think we will. Anyway, this video is not a pig hunting video, just another bro check video I'm making while I'm hunting. Straighten this camera, but it's rough. I'm not on a public road, so I can talk while I'm driving. Shit. This is about fighting the good battle. This is about fighting to stay on top. This is about fighting to have success in your life and not be struggling. This is to overcome challenge. This is to inspire you to pick up where you were once good again and carry on from there rather than from when you fell down and staying down. This is about you meeting your responsibilities as a man, facing them head on and facing yourself. It's about you facing your demons and facing your fears. It's about you waking up in the morning feeling bad and saying, right, this is my responsibility to turn it around. Yes, I may have depression. Yes, I may be suffering anxiety. Yes, I may have diabetes type 2. Yes, I may be in a wheelchair. Yes, I may be a quadriplegic. Yes, I may have cancer and only have a certain amount of time to live. But you ultimately decide how you feel and what you do. There are things you can do if you are in a state of depression. Depression is a disease just like cancer, just like diabetes, just like anything else. But there are things you can do. Let's have a look at that. You don't just get depressed. Some people are more predisposed to being depressed than others. Some people have a gene that makes them more depressed, just like some can be like an alcoholic. So those people need to avoid certain things. They need to avoid drugs. They need to avoid alcohol. They need to avoid shit food. If you look back to when you weren't depressed, you probably were okay. You're probably feeling alright. Or if you look back to when you weren't anxious, you're probably okay. If you go back further, you'll find out where you started to stretch the fabric of your reality. It was either by taking a substance, it was either by abusing somebody and paying the price with guilt or shame. There was something behind it, or it could have just been a chemical reaction in your body that you now have to take responsibility for because it's in your body. That might mean going to seeing a doctor and getting a prescription for depression, or it might mean saying, right, I'm setting my clock an hour earlier tomorrow morning because I'm waking up feeling like shit every day. I need to change the pattern of my life. Waking up an hour earlier, that will change your biorhythm. And that might mean having a shower and finishing off 5 minutes with a freezing cold shower. Snap that part of yourself into another realm. It won't snap you out of it, it'll just change things a little bit. Get the heart rate up, that will help. Physical's connected to the mental. That might mean sitting down watching a comedy and laughing when you feel like shit. That might mean saying, right, I'm going to go for a run even though I've got no energy at all. I'm all fatigued and worn out because I need to get my heart and lungs going. I need to get my endorphins up because right now I'm not well. Getting out there, fighting the good battle. That might mean going hunting when you're exhausted, but there's other people that rely on you just to get yourself back out in the field and try, even if you don't get a kill. That might mean saying, what have I been putting into my mouth? What have I really been eating? Have I truly been eating good nutrition? Did I get my 8 to 10 cups of green leafy vegetables today? Did I eat some quality protein? Did I have a really good... I'm just looking ahead here because I've seen something that looks like a pig. It's a black log. See how my brain's wide? I'll show you the pig. Sorry to bust in the middle of this. Out the window, can you see that black thing? I was losing thing there. And I was all worked up trying to put a message across to motivate that one person that right now is actually going off track with their life and needs to be put back on the track. Your nutrition is everything. I'm running a diesel truck. If I put shitty, say, ship diesel on it that's as thick as golden syrup, this is going to run like a bucket of hairy arseholes. I've got to run her on the right fuel. You've got to run yourself on the right fuel. The right fuel is not bread. The right fuel is not rice. The right fuel is not Mind you, a lot of Japanese would disagree with that, but then again, their diet also has a whole lot of good stuff with it. The right food is not noodles or pizza or waffles or pancakes. Those are comfort foods that just fill you up and eventually give you a big insulin dive where you go down and you feel even worse afterwards. Not to mention you gain weight and you also retain too much fluid. You need to eat good quality fats, the really good fats. I'm talking avocado, olive oil, salmon, pecan nuts, macadamia nuts. I'm talking all the good. Olive oil is so good for you. Sardines, probably the best fish you could eat in the whole planet. Fish roe, very, very high. And good animal fats, not processed stuff like stuff that's been processed and processed. Bacon is fine so long as it has no nitrates in it and no sugar in it. So getting the really good whole food, if you're a hunter whaler, you've got it made. You can get nice organic meat. Eggs, absolute superfood. 3 to 4 eggs a day, nothing wrong with that. Don't worry about your cholesterol unless you have a heart condition. If you have a heart condition, then the pescatarian diet's probably not a bad diet, or the Mediterranean diet's probably not a bad diet. But for the average person whose heart is okay, the keto diet, that will get you back on track. I advocate that because it's actually has a lot of vegetables in it if you're doing it properly, and a lot of good fats. So there's the first part. Second part, have you been getting your sleep? Are you getting yourself to bed at a reasonable hour? If you get up every morning at 5 o'clock, you want to be in bed around 9 or 10. You want to have that 8 hours sleep. If you get up at 7 every morning, well, I suppose you could go to bed at 11. Okay, you're still going to get your 8 hours sleep. You need 8 hours. Some people don't. Some people can function well on 4 or 5, while others need 10. But on the whole, the average human is 8 hours is a good sleep recommended by most doctors. The exercise is everything. Without the exercise, we're not designed to sit on our asses. Sitting is the new smoking. So if you're sitting on your ass all day, what do you expect is going to happen? Now, by now, some of you would have switched off this video and you won't be following anymore, but if you're still with me, well done. Well done for still hearing me out and hearing stuff that's not always good to hear. Because I want to also talk about relationships. Our lives revolve around relationships. If you've got some bad relationships, be it your partner, be it your parents, be it your mother, be it your brother, you've got two options. One is to walk away and never walk back, or maybe say never, never, but never say never. But really, if if a partner that you're with is just going wrong all the time and it's continual abuse and everything's bad, then it might be good to step out of that. Some relationships we can never step out of. That's the ones with our children, and that's the one with our parents, because we're bonded by blood, and blood is thicker than water. So those relationships, they need to be nurtured and looked after. And when there's injustice, when there's abuse, when there's hurt, if we're the ones that have been abused, if we're the ones that have had the injustice done, there's nothing more than we want to hear is from those people that have done those abuse to us, is to have it validated. Sorry I did this to you. I'm sorry. Forgive me. That doesn't always happen. Often, particularly with fathers. Fathers, their egos are too big quite often. I'm going to run Poe down this road here because it's a time of night. A pig could be just going through. Yes. So, those relationships are the ones that we really need to make well. They really have a lot to do with how we are. I might run Bigsy here too. Let's listen to the pig hunting video, although I am pig hunting while I'm doing it. These dogs are incredibly tired. They've just done 2 hours chasing the one pig. I'll let them run down this road. It's all downhill. And you never know, we might trip up on a pig on the way down. Go for a run. Catch your pig. There you go, Bixie. Don't get back in my trap. Off you go. Bixie's going to be a great dog one day. Anyway, fighting the good battle is about mindset, having a good mindset, physical exercise, getting your cardio going at least 3 or 4 times a week. And if you're an older person like me, lifting a few weights just to keep the muscle from getting too, as you get older you lose muscle as your testosterone levels drop. Getting your sleep, your food, good nutrition, and looking after those relationships. If any of these areas in your life aren't really happening right, then there's only one person that can put it right, and it's not the world around you, it's you. You've got to take responsibility. You've got to take responsibility for how you're feeling and what's going on in your life. Everybody has the amount to climb. Everybody. God, there's some rooting around here. Holy shit, that's fresh. Everybody's got the amount to climb. We all do. and we're all subject to some stage to some trauma, something horrible, some loss. There's always going to be loss, but overall we are the only ones that can really turn it around. The blame game doesn't work. You can blame, you may be a victim, you may have been born and dealt a bad hand of cards, you might have been dealt a shitty hand, you may have been born with a muscular problem or a bone problem or a degenerative problem, but it's still up to you to take charge of your life and fight the good battle. Keep fighting it. Do all the things with what you've got. Look at the resources you have got, don't look at what you haven't got, and make this day work. Now, I'm in hunt mode and I'm not really concentrating on what I'm saying, and excuse that. The dogs are looking like they're getting sent again down here. This could be it. So I'm going to switch on to this now and carry on with my hunting. I'll show you what's going on here. There's definitely a pig down here. Look, look at Bigsy. He wants to step off the road. And he's look right here. Yes, something around. One thing is sure, if it is a pig, Bigsy's got his nose, man. If it is a pig, I'll have it on the Clay Talk Stories channel. I'll have it on for patrons first and foremost. There's a pig around here. I'm going to carry on. Definitely. Go steady. See you in the next video.